Have you ever watched an old TF2 video and see a map that looked kind of familiar? Or have you looked at other TF2 YouTubers and you noticed that you haven't played on a certain map in a while? Since the dawn of the Meet Your Match update, countless of maps have faded into being obsolete. Sure, we still have our 2 Fort, our High Tower, and even our AFK trade servers, but some of these maps used to dominate their criteria for their uniqueness. A lot of people have forgotten about Lakeside. A lot of people have forgotten about Nucleus and so much more. Although as I was once a sniper main, I can't forget where it all began. Turbine was no measure the best map in the game, but it was by no means obsolete. In fact, the community actually hates Turbine for how it's difficult to complete objectives on, and if you search up CTF Turbine on Google, it's immediately a Reddit post and that talks about why Turbine sucks, which made me wonder, did this map really suck or what? So in this video, I'm going to talk about why Turbine sucked, why it was loved, how it lived, died, and if it may come back. I've played Team Fortress 2 ever since I was a kid. I've always explored different maps that my favorite sniper mains played on. Jaybird, Snow, Sakisa, and so much more. Turbine was an oddball. It didn't feel the same as 2 Fort or Double Cross. The community disliked Turbine, and for good reason. Being a map that was enclosed in a factory with 3 turbines in the middle wasn't the most appealing design. Even if I personally loved the map, I always wondered if there could have been more creative ways to design it. But right now, we know Turbine for having its long, tight corridors, few health packs, and another reason that was stated for Turbine's hate was for its easy to camp spawn rooms, which generally makes sense when compared to other CTF maps with multiple spawn areas, so in theory it would feel that way, but spawn camping is more of a subjective and uncommon experience. While it does happen, it's not common enough for me to want to hate the map. Adding on to this is the existing headshot angles for snipers and a door which directly opens to the spawn points, which kinda makes spawn camping a little bit easier, but yeah. The intel room was also completely different. People generally dislike Turbine for how difficult it was to push into the room. It makes sense. Casually, no one likes a stalemate. People that don't play games for one singular reason, and it's difficult for a map maker to directly satisfy each reason. In TF2's case, that's about 99.99, not literally, % of the player base. The mid is literally a Turbine. Wow, I really wonder where the creativity went. Another reason that I actually genuinely wholeheartedly agree that this map kind of sucks is that with the low skybox. I'm sure you all know why I really don't like low skyboxes, but as these are all reasons for hate, there is a large community that loves it too. If casual TF2 players dislike long stalemate maps, which end up becoming a deathmatch, I'm sure there would be some people that love it. One thing I noticed while doing research for this map is that people that generally enjoy Turbine would be the people that have enough time and the drive to just go godlike. On the other hand, casual players tend to enjoy a more productive experience of winning, losing, and having efficiency as a team. But let's focus on the demographic of the deathmatch players. This is the top view of Turbine. Long corridors, wide sight lines, multiple angles, places for cover, and a very open mid, which is again where the name of the map comes from, and where the majority of the action tends to happen. It really is no surprise why people love this map. I mean, the same could be said about 2 Fort with how it's just a deathmatch map alongside High Tower. But I think the charm of Turbine exists far beyond the stalemating mid, but the fact that a stalemate occurs essentially anywhere. In comparison to the aforementioned maps, majority of the action happens right where you'd expect it to. Turbine, on the other hand, exists as a map that allows the players to create a stalemate at whichever point of the map they prefer, creating a sort of locked-off zone that the opposing teams tend to break out of. And who doesn't love a little fight, right? Turbine's life wasn't very exciting, only getting one holiday reskin and the only highlight probably being available as a former competitive map during the Meet Your Match update. Aside from that, that's really it. Nothing much ever happened after that. And in the same manner, not much happened to the player base of the map. After the Meet Your Match update, we all experienced the great move of majority of players looking to play on community servers to revive what little life we had left from quick play. Turbine didn't die because of how people hated the map, but rather, it died because of time. I mean, you can still search up Turbine maps and you might get maps that still have full servers. But these numbers pale in comparison to the multiple full 24-24 players, 32-32, 24/7 Turbine servers that have stayed afloat alongside the Skills, Black Wonders, Asia Fortresses, UGCs, and Have Fun servers. Should we expect to see this map come back anytime soon? Unfortunately, I wouldn't say so. It has become increasingly more difficult to find specific maps to play on with a consistent and non-hacking group of players. Alongside the dying support that these old servers latch onto, it's no longer sustainable or smart to revive such long-gone and semi-disliked maps for a server which may not even run properly anymore. Although in casual play, it's still very much possible to run into some Turbine servers. Some full, mostly empty, and maybe that's just how it should be. Turbine was never the go-to map for the average player. It just existed as an option on a list, which, let's be honest, we don't even realize is there sometimes. Turbine stays and should stay where it is. Just floating, sometimes being played on, usually empty. Just how it's meant to be end up.
What the fuck? I actually got a Turbine server.